Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Man of Steel, issue number 4, 1986 comic review. Now, as you know, much like Batman Year 1, much like Wonder Woman's relaunch, the Man of Steel was meant to be a clean slate to the post-crisis run of Superman. And Man of Steel ran for 6 issues. And the cover mainly has the story featuring Lex Luthor. And let's get on the story. It starts off how Lois Lane shows up at Clark's apartment as Clark Kent is getting ready for a shave. Inside, Lois Lane is amazed by Clark's apartment about how clean it is, and is even amazed that he used to play football, and even Clark says, kind of lost interest over the years. Of course, I try and keep in shape. So of course you can tell Lois Lane is still bitter about losing the story from issue 2, and you can tell Clark does try to be a friend, which Lois isn't going to. And pretty much as soon as Clark gets into the bathroom, he quickly uses a razor and uses his X-ray vision to do the shaving. And of course, Lois Lane does get a little suspicious about how the weights are a bit more lighter. And you can tell Clark realised that he forgot to sort of fasten them stronger, as it kind of would draw too many suspicions. And of course, Clark points out about taking the elevator, but turns out Lex Luthor's got a private helicopter for them. And turns out Lex can basically screw the rules as he has money. And we're shown how they fly over Metropolis to Lex Luthor's private ship. And of course, as soon as they go in, they're introduced by one of the staff members and basically head to the fancy area. And of course, they end up meeting Lex Luthor, who has some hair. Now, in the pre-crisis continuity, Lex Luthor basically lost his hair as a kid. Here, he's still got his hair. And you can tell he sees Lois as his Valkyrie, and does welcome them in, and even meets Clark Kent. And he even talks about the story that he technically did, as well as rejected the award he was given. So of course, turns out that the mayor has also shown up, and also talks to Lois about the dress, which he bought as a gift, which he thought was for the party. And of course does get annoyed by Lex Luthor's selfish behaviour, and basically has Clark to basically have him have the jacket and her to get rid of the dress. So of course Lois Lane insults him, and her and Clark leaves until they end up being confronted by South American terrorists due to Lex Luthor's involvement back in issue 2. So of course they take out Clark. Basically they have everyone held hostage and throw Clark into the ocean. And of course, as soon as mainly the boat starts moving, we see that Clark is quickly changed into Superman. And of course, Lois Lane takes over while they're distracted, and Clark's pretty much figured as Superman that Lois Lane has led the revolt against the South American terrorists, and lands the boat into Lex Luthor's private area, Shangri-La, and throws the ship into the harbour, where we see how Lois Lane has taken down the terrorists, and so has Clark when he protects her from being shot and takes down the gun. And you can kind of tell the mayor is amazed by Superman's efforts, and turns out this was all a ploy by Lex Luthor to get him on his payroll, and he had figured out where the terrorists were, as well as having his staff hide in the ship, which causes a lot of people to get angry with him. So of course, the mayor has Superman appointed as deputy to arrest Lex Luthor. And this is where you can tell Lex basically has lost at this point. He ends up in prison, but gets back out in no time. And we see how the people start to see Superman as an actual hero. And of course, helps a pregnant woman to the hospital to deliver her baby. And even in honor, she named her child's middle name after Superman. Just as Superman thinks someone took a picture of him, he's about to leave, but turns out it's Lex Luthor, who leaves him a warning, saying that he owes Metropolis, he owns the people, and that he's not going to let Superman jeopardize it. And does say, "Remember, Superman, you're a dead man. It's just a question of now how soon." And this would be the start of their new rivalry. So I think issue 4 isn't too bad. It gives you this glimpse of Lex Luthor being a successful businessman and more of a shady dealings. As you can tell, Lois Lane does try to bust him, but to no prevail. And I think this works more than the pre-Crisis version, where he's an evil mastermind. It's a bit more realistic, so I give it a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.